Hi YouTube. In this Azurik video I'm going to show you how to do roll jumps. It's the most basic trick in Azurik speedrunning, and it's used in every aspect throughout every run. And you see me do one just there. And the way they work is in Azurik, you have your on the ground state and you're in the air state, and also in the water state. And basically the way it works is you have to be out of an animation, think attacking or the ultimate animation where you use all four powers, or a roll. Uh, the way it works is for one frame after your animation ends, you can still be considered on the ground and can still do things that you can normally do on the ground, like make ground attacks, continue rolling, uh, or I don't know. But yeah, consider using a on the ground animation. In the air, you have a different set of animations which you do uh, that limit you, and you're also prone to things like terminal velocity for falling. But anyway, uh, so the reason we would want to use roll jumping is it helps you clear larger gaps, like here. You know, for some reason I wasn't able to make that jump. Didn't grab the ledge. Pretty sure it should have. But with a roll jump, that would have been much easier. And I can show you. So roll jump, roll jump, roll jump. And since this lets you make jumps from places you wouldn't normally be able to, you can do things you wouldn't be normally able to. Um, the biggest thing is you're able to jump across these lily pads? I don't know what better to call them. So that you can come over here at the very beginning of the game and grab Air Power 1, which is right over there. And we do this in the any percent run, and it saves quite a bit of time, because doing the actual puzzle in this area where you use the spotlights to jump on the various flower petal bulbs, raising the underwater platforms, it takes a while. So using roll jumping to skip all of that is quite helpful.
Right. New power.
But anyway, uh, there are things you need to be careful about with roll jumping, and I'll save here so that I can show you them. Since you're still considered on the ground, you'll still fall, and then if you hit something at a lethal velocity, you will die. Even though it doesn't consider you in the air, you will
Press the
still
A
take
button.
lethal falling damage, which is kind of strange. Also, you see how water wasn't really affecting me? Well, if you are still considered on the ground, water doesn't take effect. It won't change. Seems like you can only go into a swimming state from a in the air state, if that makes sense. Let's see. There are other things you can do besides roll jumping, as far as like still being in the air. Like for example, this is a two roll into a sweep attack, B button, uh, and through that animation, it'll still consider you on the ground. Let's see. I'm gonna give myself. Come on, G codes. All right, there we go. Give myself one of each power so I can show you how the ultimate works the same way. And that one's interesting because I'm still wondering if there's anything that we can do with that to
Press
break
the
the game
A.
in additional ways. Still not sure. Still figuring that out. Let's see. I suppose I should say that the amount of distance that you can fall after a roll jump. So let's say you do 4 rolls and then a jump. The amount of distance you can fall before it's considered terminal velocity or lethal falling distance is much shorter. Like, for example... Oh, crap, I only have air power 1. I was not planning on that. Alright. Let's make a save here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So normally a fall from here, well, from there to there would kill you, but that's not where I was trying to land. Alright. So normally a land from here to there would not kill you, right?
A button.
But because... basically, lethal falling damage can happen in a couple of ways. First, you have to hit
The A button to continue
ground
your quest.
at a certain speed could kill you. But that has to be at a lower point than when you last left the ground. And if you are moving at a certain speed and hit the ground at a certain distance lower than when you left the ground, that'll also kill you even if your velocity is not fast enough to where you would normally die. Then, let's see, I'll show you how... Actually, I'm going to head back to here. I'm going to show you... And, nah, this isn't the best place to do it. Let's go to Fire 2. What I'm trying to show you is if you are launched in the air by something, a fan, a geyser, your jump, if you are launched in the air by something, you will not take lethal... whoops. You'll not take lethal falling damage unless you land at a point lower than where you started. Also, I'm going to turn on the debug lighting to brighten this area up.
Collect 100.
So let's... I'm going to need some powers to get to where I'm going. Alright, I'm going to save just in case I die, because I don't have to reapply the powers. Alright. Also, you can jump to this little area with, I think, air power 1. Yeah, that's what we do with the any percent speedrun. But yeah, see this geyser here? Despite falling what would probably be a lethal distance, I took no damage. And that's because it was not lower than this platform that I'm leaving. And let's see. So this one's interesting, because... Ow. No, this isn't where I want to go. Alright. Actually, I can show it from this one. So I'm going to land over here. And even though this is technically lower, it's only a lower enough amount to where I lost that much life. You still have to fall a distance lower than where you left the ground. A certain amount lower than that to take lethal. Anyways. I'm going to show you a cool place you can use roll jumping to do some interesting tricks. At this point, if you're looking for more tutorial stuff, then probably learned everything you need to about roll jumping. Playing around with it will teach you much more than I can at this point. I am not a teacher, I am a speedrunner, but I want to show people cool tricks. But anyway, so I'll play a save here. So what we could do with roll jumping is here on the tower, there are certain points where you can... Now, whoops, that did it wrong right there. Basically,
Press the A.
you can fall a large distance, and if you still need to fall further, you can hit a slippery slope like this one that would put you into a slide like that, and it'll negate your fall damage. Or rather, it'll stop you from being at a terminal velocity. But like, let's see. Air 3 is a good place. You don't have to worry about that if you can precisely time your jump or your rolls to land you at exactly where you need to be. Like, for example, here, I know that I can do 3, 4, a 4 roll jump and land there, and that's just fine. And it's really nice when you're trying to descend in an area, like here. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Press the A.
Okay. Ah, that's interesting. That counted as me touching the ground. Because normally if I use that fan to raise myself up in the air, I can actually get out of it and then fall all the way back down to where the fan is without taking damage. In fact, we use that to get the water power 3 in that area, or this area. Oh, I suppose another thing. You can use roll jumps not just on flat ground, but also off of slippery slopes, like those slides. This is most commonly used in the death realm, where we're trying to descend down it in a safe manner and get to areas we're not supposed to. I'm trying to think of any other areas we use it in the game, at least for speedrunning purposes. I use it a lot in the or the All Obsidian run.
New power.
But anyway, as you saw, since I took that elevator and landed all the way back down there on this slide, I was able to not take lethal like I did just barely. But anyways, this video is getting long and I don't think I'm showing anything new, so I'm going to call it here, YouTube. Sorry if I'm wasting any of your time, but I'll see you in the next one if you still enjoy it. Goodbye.